Welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the UEFA Champions League 2024-2025 quarterfinals second leg. Well, this week, today and yesterday, were played the second leg games in the quarterfinals, where now we have the four teams that will play the semifinals. Well, yesterday, the Borussia Dortmund defeated the Barcelona 3-1, but because the Barcelona had won the first leg 4-0, they won the series 5-3 and qualified to the semifinals for first time in 2017. And in the second game, in a tremendous game, I think the best game of this week, the Aston Villa defeated 3-2 Paris yesterday, but because Paris had won the first leg 3-1, the Paris won the series 5-4 and qualified to the semifinals in back-to-back years. And today, in the first game, the Inter Milan and Bayern München tied 2-2, and Inter Milan qualified to the semifinals because they defeated the Bayern 2-1 in the first leg, and they won the series 5-3. And in the last series, by the surprise and the upset, the Arsenal defeated today 2-1 Real Madrid, and they won the series because they won the first leg 3-0 and they won the series 7-1. So let's talk about a little more about each game. The first game, Borussia Dortmund 3, Barcelona 1. To be honest, the Dortmund played a tremendous game this game because they didn't have anything to lose, and Barcelona played a full game. I think that the Barcelona knew that it was almost impossible that the Borussia Dortmund win the game by 4 goal difference to force the overtime, or to win by 5 more by 5 or more goal difference to win this game, because it was very difficult. And for that reason, the Barcelona relaxed a lot its football level, I'm not gonna lie, and the Borussia Dortmund took advantage of that, and the Dortmund for that reason won the game 3-1. I think that the Dortmund put emotion in some parts because they were leading 2-0 in the first minutes of the second half, but after that Barcelona scored the first goal, and in that moment the game was over. In the end, after that, Barcelona didn't have any problem and they lose this game, but in the end they won the series 5-3, and for that reason they qualified to the semifinals. And in the second game, yesterday the second game, I think the best game, the Aston Villa defeated 3 to the PSG. Remember, in the first leg, PSG had defeated Aston Villa 3-1, and the Aston Villa needed to win this game by 2 goal difference to force overtime, and more the 3 goal difference to win this game. About this game, started better for the PSG because they were leading the game 2-0. 2-0 in the minus 27. In that moment, the series was over because they were leading the series for 5-1, and in that moment the game was over. And for that reason, the PSG relaxed its football, and the Aston Villa took advantage of that because they scored 1 goal in the minute 54, and in the halftime the PSG were leading the game 2-1, and the PSG were leading in that moment 5-3. 5-2 in the halftime, but in the first minutes of the second half, the Aston Villa started better, and in a lapse of 2 minutes, they scored 2 goals. They were leading the game 3-2, and they were only 1 goal difference to force overtime and tie the series. But to be honest, Aston Villa had 2 or 3 goal opportunities to score the 4 goal of the game and to tie the series, but they couldn't. After that, the PSG adjusted its football level, and in the end, the Aston Villa won the game 3-2, but because what Paris Saint-Germain did in the first leg, they won the series 5-4, and they qualified to the semifinals. And today's game, in the first game, the Inter and Bayern tied the game 2-2. Remember that in the first leg, the Inter Milan won the game 2-1 as a away team in Germany. So the Bayern Munich needed to tie this game, needed to win this game by only 1 goal difference to force the overtime, or to win by by 2 or more goal difference to win the series. So the Inter Milan, what they did, they decided to defend and counter attack, and they let the Bayern Munich attack because they needed that goal to force minimum overtime. So in the halftime the game was 0-0, and in the first minutes of the second of the second half, the Bayern Munich is surprised and they scored the first goal in the minus 52, where Harry Kane scored the first goal, and in that moment the series was over. But after that, Inter Milan decided to attack more, to improve its football level, and in a lapse of 3 minutes, in two corners they scored two goals, and they were leading 2-1 in the game, and 4-2 in the series. In that moment, I thought that the game was over because the Inter Milan had the game under control. But in the minus 76, Eric Dier scored the second goal for the Bayern Munich, and in that moment the series was 4-3 in favor of Inter. So Bayern Munich have one or two goal opportunities to score the third goal in the game and to force the overtime, but they couldn't. In the end, the game finished 2-2, and Inter Milan won the series 4-3. And in the last game of this round, the Arsenal traveled to Madrid and defeated 2-1 the Real Madrid. Before this game, Real Madrid needed to win this game by 3 goal difference to force overtime, or to win by 4 more goal difference to win this game. To be honest, this series was over in the first leg, but because in Real Madrid you can never bet against Real Madrid, because I've watched in the last 14 years where Real Madrid have overcome several scores where they were down by 1, 2, or 3 goal difference with less 10 minutes to play. And for that reason, I was skeptic, and I thought that maybe the Real Madrid had opportunity to minimum to force overtime. But the game was different because Real Madrid never played in a very good football in all the series, where Arsenal made two very big mistakes that the Real Madrid couldn't took advantage, because in the first half Arsenal had a penalty in favor. Sacco missed the opportunity because Thibaut Courtois stopped the ball, and in the half time the game was tied 0-0. In the second half, Arsenal in a tremendous game, in a tremendous play, Bukayo Saka in the minus 65 scored the Arsenal first goal, and in that moment the series was over. So after that, I think that the Arsenal relaxed its football, because 2 minutes later Vinicius Junior scored the Real Madrid's first goal in an error from the goalkeeper and from the Arsenal's goalkeeper David Raya, and the Saliba and Savila's defender, the Arsenal, because they were relaxing in their football. The Vinicius Junior took advantage, and in that moment the game was still open, because the difference was only 3 goal difference. I know that in other situation with another rival, I should have said that the series was over, but it was Real Madrid, and the Real Madrid still had possibility to minimum to tie this game, to force overtime with less than 10 minutes to play, because it's the Real Madrid. But in the end they couldn't, because it was very difficult. They never play a very good football, and in the stopping time, in the minus 90 plus 3, in a tremendous play, in a counter attack, Gabriel Martinelli finished a tremendous play, and he scored the Arsenal second goal, and they won the game 2-1, and they won the series 5-1. So for that reason, now we have a new championship team, where now the semifinals will be the next. The Arsenal will play against the PSG, where I think the Arsenal will qualify for first time to a semifinals after 20 years. I think so. The last time was in the 26th, or I don't know if it was in the last decade, and the Paris Saint-Germain arrived to a back-to-back semifinals. This is amazing, where I think that the Paris Saint-Germain is the favorite to advance to the final. In the other semi-final, I think that the best semi-finals, the Barcelona will receive the Inter Milan, where Barcelona returned to a semi-final for first time since the 2017, and Inter Milan returned to a semi-finals in 3 years, because remember that 2 years ago they lost the final against the Manchester City. So I think that these two will be a tremendous semi-finals, where I think, in my opinion, the favorite to advance are the PSG. And I think that the Inter Milan, because the Inter Milan know what to qualify and to play a Champions League final. But I think that in this moment, of these 4 teams, the best team is Barcelona. So in this moment, I think that the final will be Barcelona against Paris Saint Germain, but let's see. So in this video I talk about what happened this week, where we played the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals second leg, where now the yesterday the Barcelona and Paris Saint Germain qualified to the semifinals, and today the Inter Milan and Arsenal qualified to the semifinals. The only to say is that the Real Madrid, the reigning champion team of this competition and the king of this competition, was eliminated in quarterfinals. It was a surprise, to be honest, where now the semifinals will be Arsenal against PSG and Barca against Inter Milan. I think that the favorites to advance to the finals, to the final, will be PSG and Barcelona, but let's see what happens. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any comment or suggestion, you can write me in any of my social media platforms. So see you next video. Cheers.